things first, Alabama gets the commitment from Xavier Crowell. This is a guy that was trending toward Alabama a ton. It seemed like at the last second, either Texas fans or media or somebody tried to play some sort of devil's advocate and saying that he may go to Texas, but indeed Alabama does lock it down and secures the commitment.
Yeah, and I'll say this: Texas is going to be involved because they got the money. So I don't think anybody should just brush that off as if it was nothing. But I do think there was a little extra spun on it than what needed to be. So yeah, but what a massive commitment for Coach DeBoer and his staff. All the talk last year was about the in-state recruiting and how Coach Freeze, kind of dominated the state of Alabama. And look, not all recruiting cycles are created equal. The state of Alabama obviously always has good players, but the top end of the class of 2026 is just incredibly loaded. And the fact that EJ Crowell is now a part of this class is huge for Coach DeBoer. And I think if you look in terms of fit of what Crowell means for this offense, I mean, when I watch him play, first of all, the fact that he's reclassified, he's going into his senior year, but he should be a junior. The dude looks like he's 21 years old already. He's completely jacked. I mean, he looks like a grown man, even though he's still a high school kid. But you watch him run. He runs angry. He runs powerful. He has great speed, burst, everything you look for in a back he has. Now, I'm not sure about the pass catching abilities or the pass protection ability because you don't really see that in a high school level running back. But the fact that the way he runs, it reminds me so much, almost a mix. And I'm not saying he's going to be either one of these guys. Don't get me wrong. But he reminds me of a Bijan Robinson or a Saquon Barkley. The build, the stature, the way he runs with power and the quick burst and the way he can just kind of make people miss with a quick cut, even at his size. This dude is a special talent. And I think it speaks volumes, the fact that he reclassified an entire year, much like Ryan Williams, and is still a five-star prospect, arguably the best player at his position in the country.
And what do you think that the potential impact of like getting a Ryan Grubb? Obviously we don't know if Ryan Grubb will be here when Crowell gets here. Don't want to count our chickens before they hatch. But what do you think that the impact of a Ryan Grubb or a DeBoer system does to a guy like Crowell? Obviously, I think that as a back, the impact of that is huge. But going to a one back system that I fully expect us to be in, a little less two back than we were this last season. What do you think the impact of having somebody like Crowell that's a physical specimen that can handle that workload means?
Yeah, and I want to preface before I go into this, I don't mean any disrespect to any of the running backs that are on Alabama's roster right now, but it's been a while since Alabama has had a talent like EJ Crowell in the backfield. I'm talking about a next level. You watch this dude play, and he's just different. I love Jam Miller. He's a great player. Richard Young's a great player. Daniel Hill is made a lot of noise this spring. I think he's going to be a good player. But I don't look at any of those guys as just complete difference makers at the way I look at EJ Crowell. So, yes, you talked about the one-back system, and we saw that with Coach Grubb and Coach DeBoer in Washington. Johnson was the running back's name they had there the last year they were together. I can't remember his first name. Really good player, had a really good year for Washington as that kind of feature back. And I see that in the future for EJ Crowell. Now, if that's year one, I don't think so. It's possible. But yes, I think in terms of a future one-back system in Tuscaloosa, this is the perfect guy for that. A three-down player who runs hard, runs physical, is really athletic, and I imagine he is going to be more than serviceable as a pass catcher out of the back.
Perfect. Yeah. That's something when you think about, pass catching, like you said, something that people need to understand, when you're recruiting guys, similar to when you're talking football, whether you're talking basketball, whatever sport you're talking about, you have to recruit to what they actually can do in high school or what they can be able to do at the next level, not what they're showing in high school. Now, part of it is seeing what they're showing in high school to think what they extrapolate can do in the future. But if you're not asked to do something, you're not asked to do something. Right. Derrick Henry was never asked to be a pass blocker.
And that doesn't mean they can't do it either. That's something, just because we haven't seen it doesn't mean it's not possible for them to do it. And Derrick Henry's the perfect example of that. All they did was turn around and hand the ball every time, and they'd have been stupid to do anything different.
Correct.
So I mean, that didn't mean that Derrick Henry couldn't catch the ball. It didn't mean that he couldn't pass protect. It's just that he was never asked to do those things. So that's a great point. And I think that Crowell is more and capable of doing all those things. Now, it's probably going to take time, especially the pass protection standpoint. That's always the most difficult transition for a running back coming out of high school. But the dude's built like a tank, and I have a lot of confidence that he'll be ready to play.